Yeah, well, I'm interested. Like, how was the process after that? As in, at least for me, like quitting my career was kind of the easy thing as to do, and then I kind of fell into this dark hole
Hmm.
because the bigger question arose, and which was like, and now, like
Yeah.
you're still a pretty young guy. You already had like a whole career behind you, and I never really thought about now what, like that question. How did you found to answer that question for yourself?
Yeah, that took some time, to be honest. It was probably the worst time in my life until then, because my whole identity was being a DJ. When I was 14, I already told everybody I was a DJ and that was my passion in my life. So suddenly I was not a DJ anymore. I was not booked. I had no schedule. I had nothing. So I had to search myself, and that was pretty interesting actually. Also confronting on certain levels, but it gave me a lot of space because I used to be only seen as a DJ as well. So finally, there was some room for my own interests besides the music, and people were not always asking me about, "Hey, how's Andy doing?" Because that was always the first question when I was somewhere alone, like, "How's the other Mighty Fool going?"
Yeah,
And I sort of felt like I'm more than just
yeah,
the DJ duo, you know. So it took some time to find myself, and I tried many different things outside of music. First, I wanted to quit music entirely. I mean, I kept releasing some music under my own name, just because I enjoyed it, like on a certain level. And I did some shows in Holland. I agreed with my agency back then that I would only do shows that were easy to travel, only in Holland, really small focus, just for some fun, to sort of how do you say that? Lose the addiction of the shows, you
hmm
know.
hmm
I mean, I really needed
the
the
dopamine
shows
shot.
to sort of build it down to the boring life,
Yeah,
and I did that for like I don't know, 2 or 3 years until COVID, and then I decided I was really done with it.
mm,
I did like a course to learn car wrapping and stuff, just different things, because I had no idea if I had any other skills beside making music and DJing. I
yeah,
had no clue because I never tried anything else.
yeah.
So I really had to develop skills and find some self awareness. Like, hey, you can do this as well. Hey, you're actually pretty good with some tools, and you're actually handy with your hands and stuff. You know, all these things I never knew before.
Yeah.
So that was it was interesting, but I'm very happy it all happened, and it really shapes you for later in life.
Great to hear that.
Yeah, it's that's an interesting to hear. Also, that you like picked up car wrapping or of all things, that
I need a car rapper, by the way.
you do. No, but it's when I think of the future, I'm still young. It You just don't know. I'm so caught up in what I do is what I am. It's just
Hmm.
totally my DNA.
Yeah, that's the identity that Jelle meant.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So I can
yeah,
totally relate. I get it. But Jelle lived it. I imagined it. And so that's really interesting. And also, man, that must be rewarding and confronting at so many levels. But I will see when I get old.
you know,
Not
you
that
know what's,
you're old, but
you know what's,
in the future. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, not necessarily fun, but what stands out to me is that if I get clients here, like who are like bigger DJs, and you simply ask them, "What do you enjoy outside of music?" Probably the same for Ralph. The answer is, "I don't know,"
Oh, I
because
do know.
no, but yeah,
Surfing,
for
which I
you it could
never
be
do.
gardening because you like gardening,
I
but
do like gardening, yeah.
for most of those artists, like everything in their life is built around music, and they kind of forget about the fact that they still have other passions or skills, or and you really need to reconnect with those things because you really lost them along the way because the hyper
Yeah, I do
focus
think at
went.
some
And
point, and that maybe comes with success also, that brings you a lot of comfort in which you can
Yeah,
find out other things about yourself.
hmm.
And I do. That's definitely a difference. When we were starting, you have this kind of hunger, like, man, nothing else matters. It's just target acquired, let's go.
Yeah.
And then at some point, when you get a little bit more comfortable in life, and yeah, you
The
do,
worst.
huh?
It's the comfort is the worst for
For
No,
me.
me,
It
no,
it's
was
that's the
killing.
best. Yeah,
I
that's what you.
for me
Yeah,
for me it really like that changed from like music is my passion and I want to do this. That was everything, and then like all of a sudden like things are going pretty well. The releases are coming. I have shows, and then kind of thank God for COVID because it that really hit me like it was already the process of like, hey, is this still my passion? And COVID was like, okay, now you have to really figure it out because without anything, will I still love making music? Took some time,
Yeah.
um,
but
and
you
that
know,
made me
it's
also
so
realize,
contradicting because actually that comfort that you gained and everything, it gives you the choice. It's better than you have to do something out of necessity. I mean, that's the thing to be grateful, to be grateful
but
for the choice. That's like
for
the
sure,
biggest thing there
no,
is.
I was always very grateful, but also did kind of go into a little bit autopilot, especially with all the tours. You just like you love doing them, but you just go and it's some things blend, so a lot of nights feel the same. And after COVID, luckily, I also realized, hey, I need a hobby next to, and I found it luckily,
Let me
next
guess,
to
golf.
music. Hey, golf! But I did try skateboarding first.
Oh yeah,
Oh
So,
wow.
and
we
then
can tell.
I dislocated my shoulder, and I realized maybe this is not for me as a
Golden
30-year-old
one. Yeah.
old man. But then I realized, hey, that's something I can do totally for fun. There's nothing like I need to get with that. How do you say? Like nothing. I don't need to earn any money with it. I can just do it and have fun. And that's because of that. I also found a lot of fun back in music again, which is the foundation for success eventually. I believe so.
I think
And
when music as a hobby turns into a job, it's very important to find new hobbies, new ways to relax and take your mind away from the music to look at music fresh again,
yeah,
just to take yourself out of that position at some points. And that was the mistake that we made, that we didn't had any other hobbies or interests, and we went all out, and
Yeah.
that bit us in the ass
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah,
well,
yeah.
there's always like two side of things, right? Like that hyper focus also brought you the success, but maybe you've extended it a bit too long. But
Yeah.
as Ralph said, in the early phases of your career, and especially for you since it went so quick,
That
um,
might be also a thing because when we
mhm.
started, also in 2007, our first Australia tour was, I think, 2010.
Yeah, so you have some time to
Yeah.
mentally prepare and
Oh,
learn how
even
the
later, I
job
think
works.
2011. Yeah, 2011. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Hey, Jelle, let's fast forward to today, as in what you're doing today. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Um, no, what do I do today? I have
What,
no idea.
what's your profession? What's your other identity?
They call it an A&R, but I have no idea what it is.
Can you describe your profession? Like, what do you do on a daily basis? What does an A&R life, a day in the life of an A&R revealed looks like?
A lot of coffee. Uh, no, on a serious note,
Oh, revealed.
yeah,
Oh, you were at Hell Deep, right?
I were at Hell Deep.
Because
Yeah,
we had 16 over there.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you told me revealed. Joey told me. Oh, I was still under the impression you were at Hell Deep.
This guy.
Sorry, man.
I mean, it makes sense. I worked at both,
Yeah,
so that's
This
true.
is proof that it's all unscripted.
but you still work at Hell Deep also, or that's
No,
in the past days now?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So after just a really short story, after I quit DJing and everything, I went teaching a bit at HBA Herman Brood Academy, the school where Garrix and those guys also
Oh.
went. For the people who don't know,
Now, please
just to
let me. Yeah, I actually also think that's interesting. Yeah,
What?
yeah. That must be interesting.
Teaching.
Yeah, I thought about
Oh,
that for
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
some time. It must be interesting to teach. I
Yeah, it
mean, you have
is.
so much experience. Yeah.
Honestly, it was amazing. I really enjoyed it. And you get to work with all these new talents. And I can name a whole list of people who were in my classes that are now big time DJs. And I'm super proud of that. And
Oh, that's sick.
seeing them grow from like discovering what sound fits them to being really good at their job, that's amazing. So it was a lot of fun and also taught me a lot about myself, because in that time I was still searching for myself a bit as well. So that was really cool.
Yeah. And
Then
one other question, because I actually think, yeah, I'm interested, dude. I hope everybody at home is as well. The kids in the class, did they see you as like the teacher and like, yeah, whatever, dude, or they also see you as somebody who really made waves
As a mentor.
as an artist himself?
Yeah, it really was very different for basically every student. Like some students were really about what I done in the past. Others really didn't give
Or Red
F.
says,
I don't know if we can swear.
Fuck about
yeah, we can swear.
They really didn't give a fuck, and they just saw me like a teacher, like any other
Okay.
teacher. And some kids were super interested in basically getting any feedback they could, and some were not interested at all. And the ones who were asking, sometimes even stalking me for feedback, they are the ones who are really successful now. So that also gave me a
Yeah.
lesson on how mindset and motivation is probably one of the biggest key takeaways of how to become successful in this profession as well. So it was for me just as interesting as it was for them, I think. And then Heldeep called me if I was interested in assisting them on the product manager and A&R side of things. And sounded very interesting to me. And I had a bunch of friends working there, and I know Oliver Heldens from back in the days. So it made a lot of sense. So I did that. And I was there for almost a year and a half. And then Revealed gave me a call that the new A&R position was open. And
Okay.
I went for that. And I'm now there for over a year and a half already.